IVM.
I have been fascinated with the field of AI for quite some time now. As an advertiser, you use the power of AI in many amazing and unique ways. So it's always a major plus to know how AI works and the things it can accomplish. Luckily, Intel's Digital Readiness Program is here to empower everyone with skill sets, mindsets, and tool sets to use in an AI-fueled world. So you can be ready to develop AI for even sports if you want to. As part of Intel's AI for Youth program, Intel has been working with the CBSE, the Ministry of Education, and the Government of India to empower today's youth to build social impact solutions while demystifying what AI is. How do you take advantage of this? Purchase an Intel Core-powered PC and you get free access to 80 plus hours of immersive and hands-on training about AI. On completion of the program, along with a certificate, you get access to AI toolsets to try and put what you learned to good use. So don't wait. Log on to futurebanaowonderful.intel.com. Future Banao Wonderful by bringing home an Intel-powered PC. This is Storytellers and Story Sellers live on tape. You're listening to me, Vineet Kanavar, on the IVM Podcast Network. If you've just tuned in for the first time to this show, you are listening to me talk to a lot of folks from the entertainment world, and I have a very broad definition of entertainment. On some days, I talk to gamers, which is like today. On some days, I talk to folks who have maybe written books, designed games, been in web series. You can check out all the episodes of this show if you scroll up on whichever app you're listening to us. Last month, and this is October, I'm hoping it's October. I hope we have maintained our release schedule and put this out in October as we've planned. But last month was, what was last month? It was Podcasters Month. And this month, it's a brand new month, so it's a brand new theme. And we're talking to people from the gaming industry today. And all this month in October, to kick off Gaming Month, we have someone who is racing through the subscription charts, like literally Mario Karting her way through subscription charts. She started creating on YouTube last November. And in September, which is the previous month, she crossed 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's an insane rate of growth. Please give a Story Sellers welcome to Mansi Gupta, aka Mags Play. Mansi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. That was a very nice introduction. I feel flattered.
Oh, lovely. And you should be 500,000 subscribers in what is less than a year. That's insane.
Insane, yeah.
It is, right? We will talk to Mansi today about her journey of turning creator, her experience being a female gamer in what is sometimes a difficult environment to be creating in, and what's the plan for the future. All of that with Mags Play, Mansi Gupta, right after these messages. Come back to Storytellers and Story Sellers.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into a show about crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM Podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
And we're back. It's Gamer Month on Storytellers and Story Sellers. We're talking to Mansi Gupta, Mags Play. I'm going to call you Mansi and not be like Mags Play anymore.
I prefer Mansi, yeah.
Mansi, yeah. That's a wonderful name too.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me ask you this right off the bat, Mansi.
Yeah.
Did you expect to have 500,000 subscribers in 9-10 months?
No, not at all. I legit had made like a plan when I was starting my channel. Mm-hmm. And my expectation was I would do like 50,000 subscribers in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And if I do 1 lakh subscribers in 1 year, that would be insane. Like that was my plan initially. And I'm just so blessed. Like, I don't know how suddenly the subscribers started gaining and I'm sitting at like 500,000 now. So yeah, very, very grateful.
I mean, honestly, batana, 500,000 comprehend kar pate ho?
No.
Right?
No.
It's so hard, right? And I just want to pause there, and in this world where, everything is a numbers measuring contest, right? And everyone's like, iska 10 million hai, uska 20 million hai, iska T-Series ka itna hai, PewDiePie ka utna hai, uska itna hai.
Yeah.
500,000 subscribers, 500,000 people deciding to say, yes, I want to tune into Mansi's content every time she puts something up. That's an insane number, right? Congratulations.
That's a very, thank you.
Right.
Just to imagine, like, in terms of numbers, it doesn't sound like maybe that big, like 500,000. But if you imagine like a room full of 500,000 people, that would be insane. Like imagine like 500,000 people watching you perform. Insane.
Right. I mean, I like to think of it in terms of how many theaters that would fill. You know?
Yeah.
That is what I like to do. Like an average theater has anywhere between 150 to 300 people.
Yeah.
Right? तो मतलब आपकी लाइफ अगर मूवी होती है, आपका YouTube चैनल अगर मूवी होता, तो these many people or these many theaters is what it would fill. That's how I like to think about it. It's just like
huge number,
right?
Huge number. Yeah.
Let us talk about how you got to this huge number. I mean, you were and correct me if I'm going wrong anywhere.
Yeah.
You came out of class 12. You started working. You were studying in class 12 in Banaras, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Right. You came out of class 12. You moved to Delhi.
Yeah.
And you joined an influencer marketing company, a small sort of startup setup.
Yeah.
And then sometime later, you started to start creating yourself. Help us understand what this time was like in your life, right? And again, I want you to know that a lot of young people listen to the show. A lot of people from the industry listen to the show. And we're all talking about, creators from small towns. I am from Nagpur for that matter.
Okay.
Right. So help us understand what your state of mind was around this time.
So actually, as you mentioned, I did my schooling from Banaras. Okay. I did my 12th standard, got good marks. I was very inclined towards education.
95.75%. I just want you to know, she told me at the beginning, she got 95.75%.
Yeah. I'm not trying to show off, but yeah. Yeah. So I did my schooling from there. I was very heavily inclined towards education because I come from a very, very highly educated family. Like both my parents, like even my dad and my mom, both are chartered accountants. Okay. And even my brother is a CA. So I have a full family of CAs and I was very inclined towards education. And suddenly I got out of, I did my high school and then I went to Delhi for my college. And then I studied in Delhi University and I was just studying and everything. I always wanted to be financially independent since a very young age.
Right.
Like nothing to do with my parents, but I just wanted that for myself. Like I had those big dreams, like 30 under 30 karna hai, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. So I was like, okay, I have to start early for this. So I started working when I was 17 years old. I was still doing my college and I decided, okay, I should take up like a part-time thing to do on the side. And I did started working at Oprah FX. Okay, it just started at that point of time. So it was just me, Pranav, the founder, and one more person. So there were 3 people there. And at that point of time, gaming or even influencer marketing was not a thing. This is back in 2017. It was barely a thing, right? So every time I started working as a business development manager. So my role was to basically go out to brands, as brands leke aana and all of that. And us time pe, it was nothing. It was barely a thing. But I got into that zone and I really enjoyed working. Like I can't tell you how much I enjoyed working there. I was working like 15 hours a day without any reason. Like no one asked me to, but I was just fully on the go. Like I have to do this. I was enjoying it so much and I loved the industry. Meko bahut fun aata tha. And then I was like, I've always been a full, crazy over YouTube content.
Right.
Had se zyada I would consume YouTube content. And I was like, I wanted to do this. But I was a very shy, introvert, camera shy person. So I was like, apne se nahi ho paega, to chupchap baith jao. So I was like, I can't do this. And I was just continuing doing what I was doing, getting in the industry. And I got to know like a lot of things, the business side, the creative side, because I was working side by side with creators. And I think this was 2018 ka end or something when gaming started to pick up a little bit in India.
Right.
The content space, the esports space, everything after PUBG and everything. So I started working with gamers at that point of time. And like, I'm talking about people who have like 10 million subscribers now. And I started working with them when they had like 10 or 20,000 subscribers.
Right.
So yeah, they would call me and check up ki meko ye problem ho raha hai, how can I go about this, what do I do about this and that. So I was like, okay, I got very intrigued into gaming. Okay, this sounds fun and this is new. And I started playing PUBG like 7-8 hours a day.
Oh wow.
Mad.
Wow.
Mad girl. I was playing like, it was like my stress buster. Kuch bhi stress hua life mein, PUBG khelo shuru. So that was my thing. I was very, very inclined towards it. And then, yeah, I think 2020 May when lockdown hit, and then I completed my graduation. That was when I basically took a long pause and I was like, ठीक है मेरे को अपनी life को analyze करना है अभी कि आगे क्या करना है. I had a lot of job offers because I had like studied from a good college and everything. My grades were good, so I had a lot of job offers and everything. But I was like, I don't really see myself going into the corporate world. I always wanted to do something of my own and stuff like that. So that was the time when I was like, okay, I want to do content. I want to do gaming. I think I can be good at it. I'm just probably not doing it because I'm too shy, or I think I won't be able to do it. उस टाइम तक I was so shy and so underconfident कि मैं ये भी नहीं था कि I could go and tell to my friends or family कि this is something I want to do. I was just too much.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Actually,
Yeah.
you mentioned this. Why do you think you felt shy? I mean, was it because you hadn't seen other female gaming content creators, no role models sort of a situation, or was it just like try nahi kiya to pata nahi chala? What was it like?
It was both the things, because at that point of time, specifically when I'm talking about 2018, there were like no female gamers at all in India.
Right.
None. Okay, there was no one to look up to, and it was just scary part to choose, because when you're the first one, it's kind of a scary thing. So that was one thing, and I didn't know. It was a very male dominated, it still is a very male dominated space to be in.
Right.
So that was thoda sa scary for me, but like that wasn't really a big part, because meko pata tha ki okay, I can do this and I can lead this. If nothing, I wanted to be that person. But I was just a very shy person bachpan se. Like camera was not my thing.
Right.
So yeah, there were a couple of things, and then and it's also kind of a risky space when you enter, right? And I was like, I've worked 3 years in probably the back end, and now to come in front of the camera is a completely different being. So there were a couple of factors, and I was like, I'm just scared. I don't know what to do. And when I completed my graduation, I was like, itna kya hai? Let me go and tell people around me that this is something I want to do, and let's see how they react. And I told my parents, I told my friends, I told Pranav, who's the founder of the company, and everyone reacted like very nicely. They were like, okay, you can do this. They're like very supportive, very thankful. My parents were so supportive. Leave all the job, leave everything, leave your masters also. Just go for a YouTube female gaming thing, which at that point of time was non-existent. So my parents were also very supportive, and that's when I was like, "ठीक है, this is something I want to do. People are supportive. Let me go into this. देखेंगे क्या होगा." So I made a rule कि I'll do 100 videos, okay? Because उस टाइम पे मैंने अपनी masters छोड़ दी थी, job छोड़ दी थी, सब छोड़ दी थी. I was like, मैं अपनी 100 videos बनाऊंगी. अगर 100 videos के बाद भी कुछ नहीं हुआ, then I'll probably look for a backup. Yeah, I'll probably do YouTube along with my masters or job or whatever. But 100 videos tak fully focus okay, I'll do it. Full ekdam, nothing at all, just YouTube. And yeah, so I made that rule, and thankfully after my 10th video only blew up and things started going well. But yeah, that was my whole state when I started doing. I came YouTube बहुत planning करके. I didn't come randomly because I'd seen the industry pehle se. So I kind of had an advantage there. So I did a lot of plans कि मेरा अगले 6 महीने का content क्या होना चाहिए. What exactly do I want to do with my channel? I learned editing. I got all the gears and everything. I learned editing in like 15 days. I was crazy. I didn't sleep for like 4 days, and I would just try to understand and learn.
Wow.
I recorded like 7 videos. I edited them on my own, and I was like, "ये quality एकदम बेकार है, ये मैं upload नहीं करूँगी." So my 8th video which I made, I uploaded that. That's like my first video on my channel today.
Right.
So yeah, it was a lot of planning, a lot of emotional stuff, but finally everything paid off. Yeah.
I have so many questions. Okay,
Yes.
I mean, like my whole head is being like question. But let me ask you,
Yeah.
what is the most important question?
Yeah.
How did you get over that camera shyness? And I'm asking you this as someone who's, I mean, I feel like a lot of people struggle with this, right?
Yeah.
Getting over seeing themselves on a camera, getting over seeing themselves play a character. So that's my first question to you. How did you get over your camera shyness?
So I basically thought कि जितना आप कैमरा के सामने आओगे उतना यू विल गेट बेटर, राइट? उतना धीरे धीरे वो कैमरा शाइनेस चली जाएगी. So that's what I said. I made 7 videos, but मेरे को दिख रहा था कि वो 7 videos I was so underconfident and I was not completely myself. So my thing was जितना कैमरा के सामने आओगे, जितने videos बनाओगे उतना you will get better. So that's how I got over that part. And initially, because I edit my videos myself, तो initially जब मैं अपने आप को edit करती थी, so I would get like, वो होता है अभी भी बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ होता है, जब अपने आप को screen पे देखो like, ये क्या है? So I used to have that thing. तो वो initially edit करते करते, shoot करते करते, even when I'm not, like there was a phase in my life which I think Pranav told me, when I would just randomly wake up and start vlogging myself with no intention of putting it out.
Right.
But I was like, this is my way of being in front of the camera. Isse I'll open up. I learn to speak about my life, learn to speak about myself. So these are a couple of things I did, like edited. Yeah, practice basically. Yeah. And I think that got me to a better place.
Such a simple, wonderful way of thinking about this. My next question actually is, you said you'd worked on the brand side or at least on the seller side, trying to get, creators, deals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did that help you while you were planning your creator journey?
A lot. I knew so much about the industry beforehand. And because I was friends with so many creators, jinki struggles I knew. Like I knew the mistakes they had made before.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew कि मेरे को वो mistakes नहीं करने. Like I knew from the starting कि I do not want to work with brands that do not resonate with me at all.
Right.
Like I knew that just for barely like a short or temporary amount of money or whatever, I will never ever do anything that I don't like myself, because I know in long term it'd be a very, very bad decision and regret it later in life. So I knew these things beforehand. I planned my content strategy 6 months before I started my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew कि once you start creating, you'll get a lot of things. ऐसे सोच के easy लगता है कि क्या ही करना है, shoot करना है, edit करना हो गया. But when you actually start doing it, there'll be times when I'll need a break. There'll be times when मेरे को creator block आएगा या कुछ भी होगा, I need to travel or whatever. So मैंने 6 महीने पहले ही I made strategy कि ये. And for me specifically, it's like I don't just want to do sit at home videos.
Right.
I want to do videos which will require a lot of planning, a lot of logistic stuff, and I want to do something different. I don't like, मेरा ये plan है कि I want to do, अगर मैं महीने के 4 gaming video कर रही हूँ, मेरे को कम से कम एक ऐसा वीडियो करना है जिसको देख के people will be like, oh my god, wow, this is insane. So that's the thing I have. So ये सब चीजें I planned very early on. और मेरे को brand वाली चीजें पता थी, so I knew like how to build my brand value. I knew कि I had to maintain some sort of quality in my content. I have to maintain some sort of boundaries with brands, because I know a lot of creators उस time पे when I was working who would work legit 20-24 hours a day और फिर वो burn out हो जाते थे.
Right.
So I didn't want to go through that. Or there was a lot of creators who were working for brands just for money or something. या उनको initially अपना पता ही नहीं होता था कि for this amount of subscriber, how much am I supposed to charge? Right? So they were kind of devaluing themselves and अपनी brand value कम कर रहे थे. So I didn't want to do any of those things. So I had an advantage there. I did a lot of planning and everything, and I knew how to market myself in the industry. So I hope I've been able to do that, but yeah.
No, for sure, man. I mean, and it's reflected in the kind of growth rate that you have and the kind of engagement that you have.
Yeah.
Do you think it should be like, जैसे business side पे क्या होता है, अगर आप marketing करने आते हो ना, तो it is almost considered a requirement that you go and do sales first.
Yeah.
क्या brand building जब करोगे, before that you go and talk to the actual consumer or actual buyer or customer and understand what they are looking for or understand how they value. Do you think more creators should do that? Should go and try and sell things on the front line? Or do you think creators do that enough already? What's your take on that?
See, honestly, particularly I'm talking about gaming. Gaming mein there's a lot of back and forth, okay? Gaming, abhi bhi I would not say India mein, when brands think of promoting their product, gaming is not at the top of their mind still, right? It's always entertainment, other fields, and then gaming comes. Unless it's a very gaming
entertainment, lifestyle, brand. Actors.
Lifestyle, vlogging, everything.
Exactly.
Sabko Virat Kohli chahiye, sabko Varun Dhawan chahiye, things like that.
Correct.
Right? So, gaming mein abhi bhi itna brand ya marketing wala thing nahi hai. Gaming is still getting there in terms of commercialization. So the first thing I would recommend ki creators should talk to other fellow creators or experienced ones, which I know people in this industry don't. Some sort of ego, some sort of something ki nahi main isse kyun baat kar rahi hu. Do not do that. Talk to people who have been in this industry for a long time. They'll help you understand what you deserve and what you should go for. People don't do that. And I know a lot of brands who probably, if a creator goes and talks to them, they'll sort of convince them in a way जहाँ पे वो उनको devalue कर देंगे. So for you to first go and talk to a brand and tell them कि okay, this is what I stand and this is what I deserve, you need to understand yourself what you deserve.
Right.
So for that, go and talk to other fellow creators, go and talk to people in the industry, like agencies and stuff like that, the ones you trust and you think you can work with, stuff like that. And then you should definitely, I feel, initial 6 months, you should be your own manager. Go and talk to brands, you'll understand the market. You'll understand what exactly do they require, and you'll probably get a lot of professionalism as well. Because creator space में वो थोड़ा सा lack होता है, where people are not really that professional. Not a lot of them, but very few of them.
Sure, I mean
So
it's just happening slowly over the
exactly.
past
It's
years.
getting better and better.
Yeah.
But I think if for 6 months, if you understand कि brands को ऐसे चाहिए होता है, you have to work this certain way, so you'll also get a hang of everything and be a little more professional. So I think for 6-7 months at least, or maybe a year, you should be your own manager. Do everything on your own, no matter how hard it gets. Just do everything on your own. Understand the brand side, understand, and make future plans. What do you want to do in future? Like, where do you want to be? Like after YouTube, do you want to do YouTube full time? Like maybe 10 years from now, do you still want to do YouTube, or do you want to do something apart from YouTube as well? Like maybe start a merch or business or whatever. Start planning those things abhi se, because I am honestly thinking about what to do next abhi se. I don't need to honestly, but I'm like, okay, I want to do a couple of businesses here and there, so how can I get started on that? So yeah, I think just think aage ka and interact with brands yourself, so you will understand and get hang of everything.
I'm just amazed at how well thought through your reply there was, and overall how well thought through your approach to creating is. Yet, even though it's well thought through, even though there is a clear direction to it, you place such a high premium on authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? You started by saying, "Ye sab मैंने learn किया, I spent time working with creators, I spent time in the industry." First thing I realized was that don't do anything that is not authentic, that doesn't fit your personality, right? Like whether it's a brand, whether it's content, etc., etc. I really absolutely loved that answer. And on that note, I'm going to go into a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we will talk about your future plans. We'll talk about being a woman gamer and how that whole scenario is changing and evolving, and we'll talk about my famous Water with Vineet section. Back with Mansi Gupta right after these messages. Don't go anywhere. This is Storytellers and Story Sellers. Security on a computer is like a layered cake. No matter how secure each layer may be, attackers and hackers will work tirelessly to find a vulnerability and exploit it. These cyber attacks can sneak into a system unnoticed, eventually gaining access to all the programs and files on your computer stack. Luckily, with Intel vPro platform, all of this is avoidable. Intel vPro has the Intel Hardware Shield, which adds protection to every layer of the computer system with 3 groups of security capabilities. Advanced Threat Protection, which helps detect and remediate the latest ransomware and crypto mining attacks on the system. Below the OS Security, which helps identify unauthorized changes to hardware and firmware, and Application and Data Protection, which helps prevent memory corruption and malware injection. So secure your organization's productivity with hardware-based security only with Intel vPro. Visit www.intel.in/ITheroes to know more. Intel vPro, built for business. And we're back. We're talking to Mansi Gupta. If you are joining right in the middle of an episode, what a weirdo. Don't do that. Go to the start of the episode and listen to Mansi being really wise about her creator journey over the past year or so. Mansi, I want to ask you about being a female gamer in this ecosystem. Right now, for those who are faint of heart, I'm going to say some Hindi bad words. Please take it with a pinch of salt, but these are only for illustration purposes. But abhi bhi गेमिंग बहुत ही ब्रोज का जोन है, राइट? और ब्रोज के जोन के साथ आते हैं ब्रोज वाली लैंग्वेज. कहीं भी कुछ भी बोला जाता है. It is a difficult space to be a female creator, right? Now, that's not to say that women are not playing, right? If reports are to be believed, out of India's 350 million gamers, and people include Candy Crush as well in gaming, right? It is a game at the end of the day.
But it is a game, yeah.
Numbers say that almost 50% are being played by women, right? While there are fewer women streamers out there, women gamers are definitely there, right?
Yeah.
From the time you started late last year to now, what are your notes on the reaction to an emerging female gamer? What has been the response from fans? And you can give us the good and the bad, and then we'll sort of talk about each of them a little bit.
Yeah. So when I started now, in the first 1 month, I think I had 2,000 subscribers, right? And when I started, as I told you, I was sort of scared कि क्या reaction होगा to a female gamer and everything. And the first 1 month, the first 2 months, I had like 2,000 subscribers, and the response was very good. I had a very small community of positive people who were all appreciating the fact that, okay, we have a female gamer and my content is a little different, okay? It's kind of like entertainment plus gaming.
Right.
Very few women are doing that today, right? So people are very appreciative of the fact that, oh, she's trying something new, she's bringing something different, so we love this, she's a female, let's, appreciate and stuff like that. So I had that 2,000 nice community of people. And then when I started growing, I realized, okay, as more and more people join you, kind of a little bit of negativity and hate comes your way as well. And I was, मैं हमेशा से सोच के रखा था कि होगा तो ठीक है. I knew that was going to come, but I was like, when you actually face it, it's very different than what you think it would affect and everything like that. So थोड़ा सा ऐसा bad comments आने लग गए and everything. And I realized like people have this in mindset where it's like if a female is growing, they'll assume it's because of her looks.
Right.
And that's a very, very bad way to think. If a girl probably, like for me, like I like dressing up. I like dressing up. I like doing a lot of things. If I like gaming, it doesn't have to be that I'm supposed to not like dressing up or not like putting makeup or any of those, female things. So people have this thing, ki, acha, you're dressing up also, you're playing games also. So means people are watching you for looks. Okay, people are watching you and you're not talented and your audience are sims or whatever, like, and that's something I read, like someone made a video about me saying that, oh, she's not talented at all, people just watch her because of her looks. And that video really got to me really, really bad. Like, I'm not even kidding, it got to me really bad. And then I was like, 13-14-year-old kids watch me. Like, it's so bad of someone to just call out, and this is not just with me, a lot, all the female gamers. If anyone makes a video about any female, the first thing they'll say, she's not talented, people are watching her because of her looks. And that's something I've seen with a lot of female creators, not just gamers, but creators overall as well. And that's a very, very bad perception. And then second thing would be, ki, you're a female, so you can't play games. Why are you doing that? I very recently received like an Instagram DM, which had a picture of kitchen, and uske top pe likha hua tha females gaming setup. And I was like, what's wrong with people, dude? Like, what's wrong with people? And these are some things I think a female gamer experiences very often. But I'm honestly very lucky because I don't get that level of criticism or anything. These are just few things that I hear. But I've seen other people, other female gamers in the industry, they receive kind of a lot of hate. And I genuinely don't understand why that happens. But it's just people put a tag, if you're a female, you're not talented. And if you're a female gamer, tumhare to bas ka hi nahi hai. You cannot play games at all. It's very bad, honestly, but I think dheere cheeze evolve hongi when more and more females come into the industry. Like, I recently created a group of all the female gamers. And I was like, we should collaborate together because like I see like the male gaming community is very united. They're doing stuff together. And I was like, we are not doing that enough. So I was like, I made a group. I was like, let's collaborate. Let's create stuff together. Let's put this representation like in terms of female gamers. So we're planning a lot of stuff together. So all that is going good. I think with time, cheeze काफी better हो जाएगी. As compared to what it was like a year back, today is still much better. But there's a very small section of society who still just cannot accept female gamers, and they'll continue to spread hate no matter what. They'll legit spam like 100, 200 comments. You keep on scrolling, you're just reading hate.
That's ridiculous.
That's a problematic thing. That's very bad, honestly. That's very, very bad. And I think more than the audience is still nice. I think the few creators around just cannot digest the fact like a female is getting ahead of them. So they will do everything in their power to put them down. It's more, I think, from like few creators these days rather than the audience.
Oh, wow.
So I think mindset needs to change like 360, but I think we're getting there slowly.
Right. That sounds horrible, man. I mean, to be honest, as much as, 80-90% of your audience will be supportive, it's often these, remaining 5-10% that say the most vicious things. And I've seen this. I've seen it as someone who follows a lot of gaming audiences and follows a lot of gaming creators that way. What I love seeing though is like videos of female gaming creators when they're streaming and absolutely like killing it, right? Like, the kind of stuff that you put up with just answers everyone right there, right? I think mindsets will change. That's at least my hope. I'm an optimistic person in that sense. But you guys keep doing what you're doing, man. I think there's no stopping you guys. Clearly, the overwhelming majority of your audience is there to see you succeed and see you do amazing stuff. Let me ask you a related question though, right?
Yeah.
And you seem really very level head on your shoulders, right? So I'd love to get your advice for young, not just female gamers, right? Young gamers or young streamers who are just starting out on their creator journey when it comes to hate.
Yeah.
Right. And hate is such a ridiculous emotion, right? I mean, you're either displacing your anger from something else. कुछ और आपकी life में सही नहीं हो रहा है, आप उसको यहाँ निकाल रहे हो. That's your, some people's quote unquote stress buster. But what's your advice to creators when they face hate or comments like this? And again, I'm coming from a place where when I was at TVF, when we would launch a show, there would always be some people who are like, ये क्या है, क्यों बनाया, छोड़ देते, तुम लोगों का सिर्फ बजट बढ़ गया है, राइटिंग खराब है, etc. अरे बॉस, आपने अभी तक देखा ही नहीं कुछ. It would get to me, right? As the market, I'm sure it would get to all the other people. What's your advice when you're faced with hate like this?
I initially, not going to lie, I'm not going to be like, मेरे को तो कभी affect नहीं किया, whatever. Initially, सबको करता है when you're starting your journey and everything, और मेरे को भी किया. And then I was like, these are the people who go and spread hate everywhere. No matter who the person is or what their content is, they are the people who legit वीडियो अगर 10 मिनट का वीडियो है उसके 1 मिनट में वो कमेंट कर देंगे मजा नहीं आया, बेकार था. लाइक वो लोग माइंडलेस हैं, उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दे जस्ट हैव दिस. एंड वेरी सैडली यूट्यूब पे देयर इज दिस थिंग, देयर इज दिस होल जॉनर वेयर इट्स काइंड ऑफ फनी टू पुट अदर्स डाउन. Right. And I understand the criticism wala part and all of that. That's funny, that's fine. But there's a whole thing where people are just legit spreading hate in name of comedy, and that's not funny, honestly. So all of that is there. I would just be like, initially meko karta tha. Then I was like, if there are 100%, like 100 people watching you, 99 people are watching because they love you. There's that one person who just wants to put your mind down, put your energy down. You don't want to go in that zone. When you become bigger, when you do great things, your work will automatically speak to all those people. When they see that one person sees 100 more people appreciating you, he'll automatically, either he'll be like a nice person and he'll understand, okay, let me just figure out what am I doing there. Or he'll be like, I still don't care, I'm just going to spread hate. So what they do is regardless, like you don't have to put your mind to it at all. Whenever I see a bad comment and I feel a little bad, I legit, my thing is I go to my Instagram, I open all my fan pages account and they make cute reels of mine. So I go and watch them. I'm like, this is like a confidence booster and like a nice way. So I do that. And I'm like, if you're a female specifically, you might receive thoda sa extra hate or a little bit of more criticism or things that can really get to you. But I feel like today, like if you don't focus on them and focus on the bigger picture, like if you want to be probably, imagine like you reach 10 million, 20 million subscribers and you're like India's biggest gamer, then those people won't matter to you. What would matter to you would be like the 99 other people who loved you. So always let your work speak for yourself. Just whenever I personally read a negative comment, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to go and create something much, much bigger. And I'm going to respond to these people in that way. So that's my coping mechanism these days. So yeah, I mean, just don't take care. Like, पढ़ना ही नहीं है. मैं तो legit, I read a negative comment, I delete it. Like, दोबारा मेरी नजर पढ़नी ही चाहिए इस nonsense पे. I read a negative DM, I delete instantly. So yeah, just put your mind to your work and do your thing.
I love it. I mean, I started out by saying that I'm really looking forward to what your advice is, and I absolutely love it. I think it makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are like, oh, you will delete negative comments, or you are not responding to, you only respond to positive things. And a lot of people, you're there to create a positive environment for yourself. You're creating, right? And it's supposed to be a rewarding experience. If you're bad at it, then you might get better by reading criticism, but that's valid criticism, right? Hate, I don't think, has a lot of space. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for the one who's writing it, because obviously they have some issues that they might want to focus on or deal with, I'm guessing. And I hope someone helps them out. But I think for creators, your advice is just priceless, right? Look at the bigger picture.
But when I read a criticism, I legit give them like a heart. I'm like, okay, thank you for your positive, nice feedback, if it's put in a nice manner. Right. If someone's just legit coming and abusing me for no particular reason, I'm like, how does this bring any kind of value to my channel? Like, why do I keep it here?
Right. Yeah, that's insane. Let's talk about happier things for a second, right? I want to know, I mean, and I'm really, very impressed with how you said your parents are super educated and they carried that through in being super supportive when you were starting your channel. Yeah. What is their reaction to 500,000?
Oh, they love it. They love it because like nowadays, because I come from a small town, right? So all of these things are not very common here.
Right.
So my relatives would call my parents. Like right now I'm here in my house. Like my relatives would call me and be like, yo, can we, like, one of my son is like a fan of her, so can we speak to her? Can you make us speak to her? And all that. And my parents go crazy. They're like, oh, wow, this is so amazing. And they love it. My mom reads like all my comments. She reads all my interviews, all articles, everything. She's like 100% well-researched about me.
Right.
Every day she Googles my name or like types my name on YouTube and see kya hua and everything. Everything like and she's super excited about everything I do. Like if I upload a video, my mom will call me like 10 times and be like, ki, kya hua, kaise comments aa rahe, kaisa chal raha hai, this and that. They're too much into it. They love it. They love it. And like when I hit 500,000, I was very nice. Everyone sent me gifts and cakes and everything. So it was very sweet, very nice.
That's so cool, man. That's amazing. And shout out to your mom for being your biggest fan. I think it's a great thing to have that, right? It's such a moment, right? It's lovely. It's what this ecosystem needs, right? Parents supporting creators. I like going back to this story all the time. I have a 13, 14-year-old nephew who lives about 150 kilometers outside Nagpur in a small like coal mining town called Vani.
Okay.
And he creates his videos as well, right? He creates like types of pani puri eaters in Vani.
And
it's so cute and so pure. And his parents love it, right? They love it. They're like, bro, it doesn't matter if you get 500 views or 50 views or whatever. You're creating, you're doing some good stuff. And I love it. I love it when parents are supportive of their kids creating. And for you, man, 500,000 is a massive number. 5 million obviously is bigger, and I'm sure you'll get there very, very soon. And we'll send you a big cake for it.
Please do.
It's
Don't
awesome.
forget, please record this right now.
It is getting recorded. That's what we do on the podcast.
Like keep it separately somewhere. Like make sure you send me a cake.
100% we will. Mansi, I mean, I've had a blast talking to you. I want to ask you a few rapid fire questions. Sure. This is my segment called Water with Vineet. Famously, it has nothing to do with any other talk show segment you have ever seen. Nothing to do with any other show on TV or otherwise. Nothing, right? This is absolutely original Water with Vineet segment. Okay. My first question to you is, can you tell me 3 creators you really look up to?
Techno Gamers, very hardworking. MythPat, insane amount of creativity. Who else? I really look up to Valkyrie. Not Indian, but
right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Techno Gamers, we're hoping to have him on the show next week. MythPat, go check out the MythPat podcast. It is doing insanely insanely well.
Yeah.
Let me ask you my second question. 3 games that you love playing with your fans.
With my fans, Happy Wheels, GTA, Ludo.
Right. Oh, wow. Ludo, really?
Yeah.
And
so like interactive, I love that.
Oh, love it. And do you like also stream your Ludo in general?
No, I don't. I play it on my Discord with like...
Oh, right. Love it. Last question, most important question.
Yeah.
3 goals for Mansi Gupta before she turns 30.
To be in Forbes 30 under 30.
Right.
To be like India's biggest female content creator.
Right.
To have
some tough competition there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And to have a very nice established business of mine, apart from YouTube. Like, yeah.
Right. And what do you see yourself doing in this established business?
I'll run it 360. Like, I have not really thought of what exactly I want to do it there, but I want to use my YouTube to sort of kickstart that thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
And 500,000 is a great platform to start off with.
Yeah.
Mansi, it's been a blast talking to you. I learned a few things that, I mean, I only had a thought about it, but you put it in really lovely words. So much to learn with how you have planned your creator career so far, and so much to learn from how you're such a level-headed person. You got such great advice. And what I really, really love is your spirit of people should come together and do this.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about, okay, I'm the creator and I'm going to make it big. And I love the way you said you've put a WhatsApp group of female gamers together. I love the way you said right at the beginning about how people who are starting out, going to brand, should come and consult and talk to each other and learn the ropes before, jumping straight in front of a brand and undervaluing yourself. And I love the way you talked about going pro, as you say, from a creator perspective, right? Just out of college, don't want to do corporate, really want to focus on this, and really learned how to do it well before I went public. I had an absolute blast. There's so much to learn. No one will believe you're 22 when they hear this, but kudos to you, man. I hope you had fun.
I had super fun. Like, I love doing podcasts. Like, this is my second one, but I love doing podcasts in general. It's so nice to just talk about your thoughts that you have in your mind and just speak it out loud and people to hear it. It's amazing. I love having a talk with you. It was good. It was like I was speaking to someone who was understanding what I'm saying. So that was very nice.
Glad to hear it. And so glad that you spent some time talking to us on Storytellers and Story Sellers this week. This is Gamer Month. This was the first episode with Mansi Gupta. She is at Mags Play. Go follow her. Add to her 500,000. And we will see you next week with hopefully another creator or another business person from the gaming industry. I don't know who, because we're just planning things as we go. If you liked this episode, give us a shout out at IVM Podcasts or at Ashcharya Fuck It. Yes, that's my Instagram or my Twitter. Use the hashtag Storytellers, Story Sellers, or the hashtag 100 Crore Ka Podcast. This is me, Vineet Kanabar, saying goodbye. Mansi, thank you so much for spending time with us again.
Thank you so much for having me. Everyone, please follow their podcast. It's a blast. You should definitely follow it.
Love it. That's it from me, Vineet Kanabar, on Storytellers and Story Sellers. This is me saying goodbye.
Hey everybody, it's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast, Ashwin and DJ dive into all the major scoops from the first week of the IPL's 2021 second leg. They talk about the Indian women's team beating Australia in the third ODI, breaking their winning streak of 26. On GabyCD, Farhad and Sunetra are in conversation with mental health practitioner Unnati Bharadwaj. They discuss loopholes in the mental health industry, especially for queer individuals, and how to come out safely to friends and family. On All Things Policy, Priyal Dalmeda and Ruturaj Goekar discuss the rationale behind booster shots. On Hans Vani, listen to an intriguing story called Aankhein, about how our eyes see everything and yet sometimes fail to grasp reality. And on the Life Manifesto, Zarina talks about the implications of burnout. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any other show for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Inter. We appreciate the support.
पेश खिदमत है आपकी शान में हमारे अंजुमन से. Hi, I am Sadaf.
And I'm Arshit. खाने का इतिहास, economics, policy, psychology, सब है मेन्यू पे.
Only on the Nankari podcast every Wednesday, सिर्फ IVM podcast app या वेबसाइट पर, या फिर जहां से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो.